Hello and welcome to the launch of the all-new PMP exam Formula Study Guide. Congratulations on deciding to get your PMP, and I am going to make sure that you pass your exam. That'll be a big boost for your career. Hello, everybody. I am Cornelius Fichtner. Thank you so much for joining me here today. So, here it is. The PMP exam formula study guide, or rather the cover image of the guide. Don't worry, we're going to open it up. I'm going to present it all to you. It's going to be a great event here today. Let me introduce you to our agenda. I have 5 items here on the agenda today. We're going to start out with the question, why even a formula study guide? Then we're going to jump into the guide. We're going to review it. Then we have an unboxing. I don't know if you noticed this. There's a package behind me there that includes the formula guide, and we're going to unbox that together. Then we're going to jump into reviewing 3 interpretational questions from the guide. You'll learn more about what these interpretational questions are throughout here. And then we have an FAQ and recap at the end. If at any time you have a question during this presentation, for those who are joining me live on Facebook and YouTube, feel free to type them into the chat and I will be happy to respond. So, we want to do a giveaway today as well. For those of you who are joining me live, please do simply type #formula into the chat and hit enter. And you're going to be entered into this giveaway. You're not signing up for anything. This is just for the time here of the presentation. Don't worry, I'll remind you a few times each time when we get to the actual event of the giveaway. A fair question that you may be asking at this point is this here. Cornelius, why do you offer a formula study guide? Because there are no more formulas on the exam, everyone says. So why are you offering something that students actually don't need? Well, I have 2 reasons for doing that. And the first one is this here. Surprise, formulas are still on the PMP exam. So if you hear people say that there are no more formulas on the exam, they are not giving you the full picture. But the formulas that are on the exam, they are there in a different way. And you'll see what I mean by different once we get into the details of the formula study guide itself. So formulas are still on the exam, albeit in a different way. So that was my first reason. My second reason why I offer a formula study guide is this, and it has to do with the fact that I demand more of myself as a PMP trainer, right? I don't just want to make sure that you get the 3 letters PMP behind your name. That's my main job. But at the same time, I also want you to become a better project manager in the process. Take a look at this lesson learned here from this successful exam passer who said, PMI is really, oh, there's a typo there. You see, I really copied them from the internet without changing anything. PMI is really trying to measure how much you are able to apply the knowledge that you know in real life scenarios. This was taken from this person's lesson learned. So, and since formulas are still tested on the exam, that means that they are also important for you as a project manager, right? And therefore, I also want to make sure, as I said, that as part of putting the PMP behind your name, you should also become a better project manager in the process. When I took my PMP exam, I had no idea about really the mathematics behind project management. I didn't know earned value, TCPI, ROI, net present value. I didn't really know all of those ways of measuring your project. when I came out of studying for the PMP, I knew about this, and I suddenly realized that there are many different ways of looking at my projects and understanding how these projects fit numerically into the bottom line of my company. So, right, knowing this made me a better project manager, and I want to pass this experience, this knowledge on to you as you are getting ready for your exam. And now, let's do the first formula giveaway, the formula guide giveaway here. So again, to participate, simply type formula into the chat and submit. Let me bring up my screen here where we have the giveaway. Oh, I should actually, okay, I forgot to set this up. My apologies. All right, we have, there we go. Ah, wonderful. So we have 11 entries already. So for those of you who have already typed it in, please type it in one more time. I may not have set this up properly early on, but we already have 11 people here who have joined us in the giveaway. So I'm going to give about 10 more seconds here. And in the meantime, I can bring this here up from Vinesh, who says, "Hello, Mr. Cornelius. Your classes and tips are excellent, and I follow you for years." Thank you very much, Vinesh. That's very kind of you. Okay, so it looks, I see a lot of people typing in and the number isn't changing. That means that the system picked all of you up. So we're going to draw the first one right now here. So 12 entries. Don't worry, we're doing more of this here. So even if you don't get it right now. So there we go. Drawing the first winner. And the winner is Honest Mezzinier. There we go. Congratulations to you, Honest. And at this point, you may be asking yourself, okay, I just won this. How am I going to get it? Really quite simple. In order to get your prize, Honest, please write to support@pmprepcast.com. And please do write to us within 1 week so that we can get the prize to you. The offer ends after a week there. Okay, and now let us go and take a look here at the PM Formula Guide itself. That is our next job here. And I am, by the way, I'm right now going over here to the PM Formula Study Guide, which is at pmformulas.com here. So this is our website. This is the PMP Exam Formula Study Guide. First of all, it is available in 3 versions. So you can get it as a PDF document, you can get it as a printed book, or you can get it for Kindle as well. Kindle is slightly less expensive, as you can see. Obviously, you can get the PDF download and then simply print it yourself, but you know, the printed book is much nicer. You'll see when we'll do the unboxing in a little bit. It's about 266, 268 pages, depending on which version there you're going to get. Includes all the formulas for the exam. We'll have some really nice mock-ups here that you can take a look at, and what we have inside. I'll show you more about that. And here, I believe, is the big differentiator: the interpretational and computational questions. Now, PMI has changed the formula style on the PMP exam. They realized, we project managers, we no longer really need to know all the details behind all the formulas, because all the information is put into online systems. We push a button and out come the numbers. Everything is calculated for us. So why should PMI need to test whether or not I can actually calculate what the CPI is on my project, because the system does it for me. But what about interpretation? What about understanding what these numbers mean, right? Okay, you don't have to calculate this, but what does it mean? What do you do? You have a CPI of 1.1. What does that mean? Is that good? Is that bad? What do you do next? Okay, so that's what PMI has done. PMI has removed the need for calculation, for computation on the PMP exam, but PMI has strengthened the need for interpretation. You need to understand what the results are. NPV, net present value A for project A versus NPV for project B. Which one is better? Return on investment, what's better? What's worse? To complete performance index, what does that mean? All of these interpretations, that's what's needed for the PMP exam these days. Let's scroll down a little bit. There we go. This is really the big section here. Your interpretational skills are key to answering formula-based questions on the PMP exam. I'll let you stop by at the website yourself and take a look through this. We even have a few examples here of what this looks like and what you have to be able to do. Right. For example, your project has a CV of -200. What does this mean for your project, right? There are 3 user stories in the development column of the Kanban board and 9 in testing. What should be done with work in progress limits, right? All kinds of interpretational questions that in the past you had to calculate. Now you have to understand what it means and how to interpret this. And what do you as a project leader do in order to respond to these kind of situations? Got a few testimonials here from customer. Generally, we get a 4.9 out of 5. There we are. And then we have an extensive FAQ. We're going to go through most of these here as well in a little bit. So yeah, that was a quick overview here of pmformulas.com as a summary. So here are the key features. The formula guide explains all the formulas and acronyms, includes even agile formulas. You have 160 sample questions, 70 are interpretational, 90 are computational, and it is fully updated for the 2022 exam and beyond. And when I say beyond, I mean 1 and 1 is 2. No matter of the PIN box, if you're using the PIN box 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, right? A formula is a formula. Interpretation of a result remains the same, no matter which PIN box guide you are using there. So yes, we promote this for 2022, but this is still valid in 2023, 2024, 2025, and beyond. 70 interpretational questions has a little star, gold star behind it. That's really the most important section there. That's where you really learn how to get into these interpretational questions, which are required for the PMP exam. Okay, and PR says here, I think I already have the formula guide since I used it for the prepcast for CAPM. Possible, but this is the new version, right? If you purchased it in the past and you still have access to it, you should be able to download the new version. We usually offer a free upgrade there. So your benefits with the PMP Formula Study Guide, you will know the math. But most importantly, you will master the interpretational questions. And because you master the interpretational questions, you will be ready on the PMP exam no matter what type of formula questions, what type of interpretational questions PMI is going to throw at you right there. Okay. And now we come to the big event, the unboxing of our PMP exam formula study guide. And for this, like I said, it's here behind me. Let me bring in my second camera. Hello, everybody there. We're going to focus on this. Let me grab it. There we are. Put this here, and we're going to put this down. There we go. All right, let's take a look. I haven't seen it myself. Oh, I don't know if you can see this, but you see those little bite marks or dots here? This is actually from my cat, Kokomo. If you, yeah, there you go. You can see that something's bitten through it, right? Through the plastic there, right? This is from my cat. She enjoys biting through plastic. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. There we go. Okay, let me open this up. Unboxing with the help of Kokomo. Okay, that's the back side. There we go. Let's take this out. This is what it looks like. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So this is it. Wonderful. This feels quite nice. Kind of silky feel to it. Very nice. There we are. Holding it the wrong way around for you. This is what it looks like. All nice and printed and bound. Color on the outside and black and white, obviously, on the inside. The PDF document has all the graphs in full color there. And I'm not sure if Kindle actually has full color as well. Yeah, so this is the first time I'm seeing it myself. And this can then go behind me in the future here as well. Wonderful. And that's it for our unboxing. Like I said, this is exciting because I haven't really seen it myself there. And now we are going to do another giveaway. So once again, if you haven't done so yet, please type hashtag formula into the chat box. If you've already done it previously, then you don't have to do it again because the system will remember you. As you can see, we have 15, 16 people here at the top right there. I'm going to give it a few more seconds here for those who have joined us late to type in hashtag formula. I see nothing is changing. In that case, let me hit the draw again button for our second winner. Fazul Fakir. Congratulations, Fazul, who is joining us today from YouTube. Again, Fazul, if you would like to claim your prize, please, within the next 7 days, write to support@pm-prepcast.com to get your free PDF copy of the PMP Exam Formula Study Guide. So I've been talking about these interpretational questions quite a bit. And what we want to do now is we want to open up the PDF document of the Formula Study Guide and take a look at these Formula Guide questions. But first, let me bring up this next slide here. And let me show you the difference between the PMP exam and the need for formulas and mathematics 3 years ago versus today. Because 3 years ago, if you took the PMP exam, you would definitely see about 10 or even more formula-based questions. Very, very heavy on calculation. And these questions, they could make or break your success. Whereas these days, you will find fewer than 5 questions about maths, about formulas on the exam. And the focus is on you have to know how to interpret the results, okay? And knowing these questions, this will boost your score. So if you have a problem in another area of the exam where you might just be a little bit too low, the formula questions, they will help you to recover from that. So knowing the formulas is important in order to help keep your score high, whereas 3 years ago, they could make or break your PMP exam there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we want to review 3 interpretational questions, question 1, 3, and 5 on in the PDF document. And what I want you to do is I want you to type your answer into the chat. So where is the PDF document? Here we go. So this is the PDF document that you can also win here today. And what we want to do is we want to go to interpretational question number 1 here. Okay, so here's the question. You are leading a hybrid project and you have just updated the daily burn down chart for the current sprint. A key stakeholder has expressed concern that the project team may not meet their objectives for the iteration. Based on the burn down chart, what is your best course of action to keep the project on track? So let me scroll down here, maybe make this slightly smaller that both things may fit on the screen. Okay, so question at the top, burn down chart at the bottom. So somebody said, yeah, you're not going to make the sprint. And this is what we have as the sprint burn down chart. And then we have these 5 answers. So should we crash the schedule? A. Should we fast track some of the user stories? B. Should we allow the team to continue working as planned? Or should we hold a retrospective before the end of the day? All right, I'm going to give you 10, 15 seconds here for those joining me live. Please type in A, B, C, or D. What is the answer? Somebody said, yeah, you're not going to make it. I'm afraid something's not right with this project. Looking at this sprint burn down chart here, what are you going to do? A, crash the schedule. B, fast track some of the user stories. C, allow the team to continue working as planned. Or hold a retrospective before the end of the day. A, B, C, or D. I'm starting to get the first answers here. Let's see. We have Fazul, who says C. We have Hanatu, who also says C. There we have Traz La Ciencia, sorry, also with a C. We have Ruxan with a C. Everybody seems to agree that it is a C. And guess what? You are all actually correct. The correct answer is, if we go here to page 57, the correct answer is indeed C. So crash the schedule is incorrect. And for all of the answers that we have in our study guide, we will tell you exactly why A is incorrect, why B is incorrect, in case you had selected that, and then we'll tell you why C is correct. Now, for this particular question, right, it is important for you to have agile experience and be able to interpret a sprint burn down chart and be able to relate that back to the situation at hand. This key stakeholder said, you're not going to make it. Are we going to make it? Are we not going to make it? What does the burn down chart say? So this is the type of interpretational question you are going to get. Now then, let's go back to our next question. We want to take a look at the interpretational question number 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. The one right there in the middle. This is a really short one. Your project has a CV of -200. This means, A, your project is under budget. Your SPI is also negative. Your project is above budget, or the CV cannot be negative, and there must be an error in the calculation. So, for question number 3, CV is -200. What does this mean? Is it answer A, B, C, or D? Again, I'm going to give you a few moments here. It usually takes longer for the answers to come in from Facebook and YouTube. There's always a little bit of a delay. In order to answer this question correctly, you need a few things. First of all, you have to have a basic understanding of earned value. You have to know what on earth is CV. You have to understand why CV is -200 and what that means. And with that understanding, you then have to choose, is it A, B, C, or D? You also have to have an understanding whether or not CV can actually be negative, right? In our example here, it is negative. Is that even a possibility, right? Or are we just throwing that in there for you? So many people are starting to respond. Vipin says it is D, so CV cannot be negative. Anna says also D, CV cannot be negative. I'm not getting any more answers here at the moment. So we're going to leave it at that. No, wait, we have Marcelo, who also says D, CV cannot be negative. Well then, let's go check out what the correct answer is. We're going to page 61, where we have the answer right there. And D is actually not the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Your project is above budget. If the CV, the cost variance is minus 200, that means you have spent too much money. And look at that. We have Arnab here, Arnab, who correctly says, C, you are above budget. So to get this question correct, you really need to have a solid understanding of earned value. What do all these numbers mean? How is this calculated? What does minus 200 mean, right? And so even though the focus is on interpretational questions, understanding how the cost variance is derived, how you arrive at minus 200, what does minus 200 even mean? That is important. So knowing the formulas is still a big part here of what you have to be able to do in regards to the formulas. Okay, we wanted to do two questions. We want to do 1, 3, and 5. Let me scroll down to question number 5. There we go. You are the project, wait, let me make this a bit wider. I'm going to put that away. There we go. You are the project manager of the Sterling project. The goal is to explore 2 new possible products for your company. Over 150,000 euros has already been spent on this exploratory project. Market studies with focus groups show that there is a need for both products. Okay, so both A and B are here. Okay. Your sponsor is worried that only 60% of the project work has been completed so far. The current ETC tells you that another 175,000 euros is required to complete the project. Okay, so normal situation, you have 2 projects, you've spent some money in an exploratory project, you have project A, you have project B, 60% are done. There's another big chunk of money required. Okay, what should you do? A, stop the project because you are over budget. All right. Ignore the sunk cost in the decision-making process. All right. C, the SPI is positive, therefore the project can continue. D, defer the decision to the project control board. All right. So based on the information that we have here, all right, you have to understand what ETC means. You have to understand what SPI means. What is sunk cost? Can I just ignore it? What does the project control board do? Do I defer to them in this situation? Okay. So you can see that even though this is a formula question, maybe there is calculation because, the SPI is mentioned here. But how do I calculate the SPI? The 60% of the project work has been completed. Is that important? So all of that information is being thrown at you. And now you're going to have to decide, what do you do? And again, I'm going to give you about 20 seconds here. A, B, C, or D. What is the answer that you are going to choose? Okay, we're starting to get the first ones come in. Ivan says D, Charminda C, Fazul D, Hanuta is at A. We have another A. We have a B. Okay, we have an A, we have a B, we have a C, we have a D. So this looks like the hardest one we have looked at so far. And yes, it is indeed a hard one. I'll give you that, because all of these answers, they seem quite possible. But what is the correct answer? Because remember, on the PMP exam, you only have one chance of getting it right. The answer is on page 63, and the correct answer is B. In this particular scenario, you want to ignore the sunk cost in the decision-making process. All right. All of you who have chosen A, C, or D, you're now going to go, why did I get this wrong? And this is once again where the Formula Study Guide is going to help you, because we do have a general explanation here that just gives you a general information about what this topic is all about. And then it goes into each possible answer right here. And it talks about explanation. I mean, this goes seriously in depth, right? And explains why and what and how this is done. And with this information, you are really going to figure out why B is correct and not the others. Yeah, and this is it for our look at these 3 interpretational questions. Which means it is once again time for another formula giveaway. So if you haven't done so yet, please type #formula into the chat, either on Facebook or on YouTube. If you've already done it, you don't have to do it. The system remembers that you've done it. And we are going to go over here. So in the meantime, we have 21 people here who have joined us. I'm going to give it a few more seconds here for people who have joined us later. There we go. We are already at 23 at this point. Okay, next chance to win one. Let's draw again. Nancy Woody. Congratulations, Nancy. And just like all the other winners before, in order to claim your prize, please, within the next week, write to support@pmprepcast.com. We are moving on to the frequently asked questions. And just, frankly, most of these frequently asked questions, I've already discussed them quite in detail, but just to have an FAQ section here, right? So let's begin with the basics. Should I expect formula-related questions on the PMP exam? Yes, you should, but as we have learned today, the formula-based questions have changed. In the past, calculation was really important. Today, interpretation is what you need. You still need to understand the formulas. How are they? What does SPI, CPI, earned value, what does all of this mean? So that you can then interpret the question and identify the correct answer. Will I need a calculator during the PMP exam? Probably not. Everybody who has reported back from the PMP exam said if they had something that needed to be calculated, you could do the calculation in your head. And by the way, you are not allowed to use a calculator. So you know what? With your fingers, you have to use the built-in Windows calculator from the Pearson VUE system in case you want to use a calculator during the exam. But you are probably not going to need it anyway, because 200 divided by 2 is 100, and we can do that in our head. What is the format of the guide? Well, we did an unboxing earlier today, so you can get it on Amazon. You can order this very nice and printed copy. Even has my bio on the back. I didn't even see that. Oh, nice. Okay. And you can get it in print. You can get it for Amazon Kindle, or if you prefer, you can get it from us as a PDF document. Is the guide updated to the current PMP exam and the current PMBOK Guide 7th edition? And I'm saying of course, but of course is not all the big answer. It is updated for the current exam. It is not updated to the PMBOK Guide 7th edition because a formula is a formula is a formula. The PMBOK Guide 7th edition does not change a formula. So the formulas that we had when we used the PMBOK Guide 4th edition, they're still the same today. So the PMBOK Guide change does not change the formulas that you need as a project manager. 1 and 1 is 2, whether it's PMBOK 7, 8, 9, or 10. How many pages are in the guide? 266. Although on the website I saw it said 268. I got to take a look at that and make sure that we have our numbers straight here. So it's either 266 or 268. Let's see. I have the PDF. I have the print version here right in front of me. Looks like 266 in the print version there. Okay. Can I get a preview of the guide? Yes. Simply go to pmformulas.com/free and you can sign up and register for the free version on our website. It's just a smaller version of the complete PDF document. Should I put PMP formulas onto my brain dump? Yeah. And here's the thing. Brain dumps are really not a thing to use during the PMP exam anymore because you're not allowed to write anything down during the PMP exam. But on paper, you can use an online whiteboard, but it's horrible to use for the brain dump, frankly. As you are studying for the PMP exam and you're struggling with these formulas, with these values, with interpretation, is a CV, a positive CV good or is a negative CV good? I can never remember that. That information you want to put on your brain dump during your studies and then review that pretty much on a daily basis so that you memorize this. Once you get to the PMP exam, forget about the brain dump. You know this stuff. You've studied for so long. You have that information, that formula information, that interpretational information in your head by now. So as you are studying for the PMP exam, yes, use a brain dump, put formulas, put interpretations, put acronyms, put numbers on the brain dump as you're studying. Forget it during your exam. Is this guide useful outside of the PMP exam and PMP exam preparation? Yeah, it kind of is if your projects rely heavily on numbers. So for example, if you are in a government environment and you are, really getting for the first time, you're exposed to earned value. And when I say government, I talk about the US federal government. They use earned value extensively. So if that is the kind of environment you are in, where people want numbers, want facts, want figures, then it will be helpful to you as well, because you can learn about all the various numbers and how to use them, how to calculate them, how to show them, and what they mean for your real life, for your actual project. If numbers don't mean much in your project environment, then the guide probably won't be helpful to you outside of the PMP exam either. Glad that you think so, Kamar. Valuable information, and I'm happy that I'm able to provide that to you. Once more, we are going to be drawing a winner. I believe this is the final one that we are drawing right now. So please do go ahead and type #formula into your chat on Facebook and YouTube. In the meantime, we have 26 people who are joining the giveaway. I'm giving you another 10 seconds because this is the last one that we have. And then we're hitting the draw the winner once more. Yeah, I see people typing in. As I said, it remembers that you have typed it in. So the number seems to be stable at 26 right now. Okie dokie. We are now going to draw a winner. And the winner is... Nancy Wood again? Oh, this is the first time that this is happening. Well, Nancy, you're not going to get 2, you're only going to get 1. So, everybody, we are going to do another drawing here. Draw again. Tras la ciencia. I hope I pronounced that somewhere close, Tras, to what it actually is. Congratulations, Tras. As with the previous winners, please do write to this email address here, support@pmprepcast.com, within the next week and claim your prize. Thank you very much. We are done with our FAQ and we're getting to the close here. So let me give you a recap of what the PMP exam formula study guide is all about. So you can find it at pm-formulas.com. You can also go to pmformulas.com. It's just pm-formulas.com. You can read it easier than there's pmformulas.com. Anyway, pm-formulas.com. This is where you can find it. It will help you to be ready for the formulas on the PMP exam. It'll teach you all the formulas. You will master the interpretational questions, which is the important bit of the PMP exam these days. And it'll help you boost your exam score. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today in our overview of the PMP exam formula study guide. Please do visit pmformulas.com, where you can find all the information and all the details about our formula study guide. Until next time. But before you go, this lesson is part of a series in which I help you to be better prepared for your PMP exam. Please do visit pm-prepcast.com/more to watch all of them.